Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne. It is, I believe it's July the 20th, 2021. And I just wanted to make a really quick video about a platform that I've put up. It's called Countdown to EBS and the Unmasking of the New Normal. The reason why I have done this at this point is because, as we all are aware, it's been well over a year now since the initial lockdowns were put in place, and there's been so many things happening around the world and nobody really knows what's going on. It almost seems like there's a real void in leadership around the planet, actually, around much of the planet. And it seems like everybody's just waiting to see what's happening, waiting to be given permission to go back to living their lives again, go back to whatever the new normal is going to be. Excuse me. We know that it's going to be a new normal because if you remember, they told us within days, or at the most, I would say 2 weeks, of when the lockdowns first started becoming the norm. They told us then that there was no going back and that there was going to be a new normal. Now, that should have set off a lot of alarm bells for people, because you should have been at least thinking to yourself, how would they know this early in the game that there's not going to be any going back to the way things were and that there's going to be a new normal? Obviously, they had something planned in store for us. Anyways, I have been watching. I was aware of a lot of things that were going on before anything happened, before things got to the point that they did. I've been watching all year, and we're still waiting to hear about the new normal, and I'm just seeing more and more people just seem to have succumbed to the whole idea that wearing masks is the way things are going to be. I know a lot of people are going out and getting their jabs, and there's all sorts of stories going on about that I'm not going to get into. But I do know that there's been an awful lot of things going on around the world. I would actually say there have been two agendas in play. And the reason why I was not afraid when the rollouts first came in was because I was aware of the plan, let's just say the plan to save the world, that was being executed by the Alliance. It is something that's been playing out all around the world. If you have heard anything at all about the rescue of the children or the rescue of people from human trafficking rings, and also the mass arrests and executions, this is all part of that thing. Anyways, we've all been distracted by a whole different agenda, which I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I think we need to start the conversation about the new normal, because there's a few things that has happened. We are living in a world now where people are probably more divided than they have ever been. And one of the biggest reasons, there's always been different divide and conquer agendas out there, whether it's been to do with ageist issues, racist issues, sexist issues, educational issues, social standings, anything. It doesn't matter what. There's always been divide and conquer agendas. And over the last year or so, we have seen that come to a massive head, where so many people are divided that even family and friends have fallen out because of beliefs. They really all revolve around the same thing, but they're often to do with what went on with the pandemic event, or the US election, or even people's opinions about President Trump. And people had very, very strong opinions because I think everybody felt that they knew that there was a lot at stake. But the problem is, while there was one thing going on in the world, the media was showing something completely different. Not that that's anything different. It is the media after all. What can you expect? They are in the business of perception management. And so they had an agenda that they wanted people to believe. they have done nothing but shown fear mongering. They've done nothing but shown things that put people in a state where they feel that the whole world is falling apart, where in fact the opposite is true. We're actually going through a transition right now. We are going through a transition where the planet is literally being liberated from the types of control that humanity has been under for thousands of years. And part of that has been the mass arrests and the rescues that I was mentioning just very, very briefly just now. So anyways, I know a lot of that is coming to a head, and while we have not been given any definite dates, we do need to start the conversation of the new normal. And I also wanted to start the conversation about the countdown to the EBS. The EBS is the Emergency Broadcast System. And I think that there's a lot of people, especially people being watching the Digital Soldiers, watching online to see what's going on. A lot of people are very aware that we are going to be getting these EBS alerts. And so what they are, as far as I know, they're going to be a series of 7 alerts where we are going to, I think we're going to be put in full lockdown when it happens. The reason why I say that is because I've heard that we will have military on the streets, because there's so many changes that have been made in the world. And one of those changes is that we are returning back to common law, to constitutional law, because that is the law of the people. And it's about we the people. This is all about we the people are reclaiming our sovereignty and our power. So because of that, the police who had, when I was growing up, you know, the police were, if you watch Heartbeat, when I was growing up in Wales, the police were more like that. Like, they were your friends. They were literally there to serve and protect. And they were really there to protect the common law, or the natural law, which is basically no harm, no foul. It's a very, very simple law, and about trespass. It's not about police enforcing different agendas and collecting money and enforcing the hundreds of thousands of different laws that have been developed over the years. So that has all gone awry, and because we are returning back to constitutional law, and I believe this is happening all around the world, the police are going to be ordered to stand down, and they are going to be retrained. As a result, we will have military on the streets. I do believe that this will be for the 3 days. I don't know if it'll be the full 10 days. I don't know if it'll be longer. So what's going to happen is, to the best of my knowledge, is that we are going to be receiving some alerts, and I do believe that we're going to be receiving a series of 7 alerts. We will be told to go home, lock the doors, stay indoors, and we are going to be directed to watch a specific channel. It's probably something that's going to be on all channels that will advise us of what to do. Now, when that happens, it is my understanding that that will be a 3-day event. So when I say event, there's going to be a pre-recorded, let's just call it a movie, that's going to be running 24 hours a day. It's an 8-hour movie. And from what I understand, it's going to be talking a little bit about what has been happening, what is happening now, and where we go from here. So this is why I'm saying unmasking the new normal. It will also, as far as I know, it will be rolling out Nicera and Jessera. If you want to know more about Nicera and Jessera, you can go to my website, which is called NiceraJesseraLife.com. It is literally going to be a completely different lifestyle, and it is one that's going to be benefiting everybody on the planet. It's something to look forward to, but there's a lot of changes that are going to be happening. There are a lot of laws that we have been controlled and manipulated by that are going to be disappearing. We're going back to common law. The money is changing. We are, for the first time in many, many years, going to be going back to gold-backed money. The banking system, as many people will know, has been a private entity that's had its own interests at heart, not the people's. It is we the people that actually have the power on this planet, not to be abused, but so that we can create a life that is good for everybody, and we the people are reclaiming our power. And that's one of the things that's happening. So as I say, many, many, many changes that have been happening around the world that you have not been seeing. What you have been shown by the media, I don't even want to say about the media. I personally refuse to watch them. But I know that a lot that you are shown by the media is actually the law of destruction in all of its glory. What I mean by saying that, the law of destruction says that which becomes ultimately successful destroys itself. As the media would have had you believe, for the most part, most of them, would be that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, that America is falling, and that President Trump was a crazy person. And you know what? The media actually has done a fantastic job, because I still, even now, even this week, I have people come up and tell me this stuff. But what you are actually seeing is what is destroying itself. It's that ruling class. It's been that oligarchical ruling class that has ruled over and controlled humanity for thousands of years in unimaginable ways. They are being removed. They're being dismantled and they're being removed. It is a biblical event. It's insane what's been going on. I do not know how much we will be told. I think it'll just be drip-fed out. A lot of people who have been watching the Digital Soldiers have been getting a lot of this information. But if this is all new to you, you just need to prepare yourself that there's a lot of changes that's going to be happening. So, I have done a lot of writing. In fact, I've written a book about the new normal, which I will be releasing very soon. But I wanted to do a countdown to the EBS. I will let you know, the EBS, I have nothing to do with the EBS. That is the Emergency Broadcast System. Nothing to do with it whatsoever. The reason why I'm doing the countdown is because there is already so much fear and panic and anxiety on the planet as a result of what's gone on this last year. I do think that when we do get those EBS alerts, that a lot of people are going to lose it. They're going to panic. They're going to be afraid. It's just going to push people over the edge, and I want to try and prevent that from happening. So what I'm going to be doing is just telling a little bit about what's going to happen, what to expect, and what we need to do to prepare ourselves. Besides which, another reason why I am making this video and have put up this platform right now is because, as so many of the Digital Soldiers know, as so many of the Patriots know, as so many people who are awake know, it's been almost impossible to have a real open conversation about what has been really happening around the planet. There's the saying, and it's very true, it says you cannot fix a problem at the same level at which it was created. So what I'm referring to here is that a lot of the problems have been created because people's minds have been programmed to believe one story that is totally the opposite to what is actually going on. So it's a struggle to try and get people to become aware, or as the saying goes, to wake up. So what I want to do with this particular program or with this particular platform is I'm taking a completely different approach. I'm not trying to make people aware of what is going on or what has been going on. My intention with this, besides helping people not to freak out, my intention with this is to have a conversation about the new normal, because we know everybody should know that we are expecting a new normal. And through that conversation, we can start looking at what the changes are going to be. Also, I want to let people know about the EBS, because like I say, I do not want people to freak out. The reason why I think a lot of the digital soldiers could benefit from having people come to my channel is because it's just taken a bit of a different approach, whereas people are typically not interested in having a conversation at all. Hopefully they will be interested in having a conversation about the new normal and what to expect when that is unmasked. Okay, so please come to my platform called countdowntoebs.com and please sign up. All you have to do is put your name and your email address in. It is a double opt-in process. We have to make sure that we have your permission to send you information. So which means that when you sign up, you have to go to your email and you have to click on a link. You'll receive an email from us. You have to click on a link to confirm that you want that information. From that time, I will be sending tips on tools on how to manage stress, how not to become real fearful about this, and what you need to do to prepare yourself for this time. I did mention the 3 days that the movie is going to be played, and I do believe that we will be in full lockdown during that time. So you're going to want to make sure that you have enough food, water, medication. If this does happen in the summer, we are anticipating for it to happen any day. But I know here in BC we've had extremely hot weather, unbelievable, like we've never seen before. Make sure you've got whatever you're going to need. Like we've ordered fans that you can charge on the computer, and also a little adapter that we can charge in the car. So make sure you've got those things, okay? Food, water, medication, food and whatever you need for your kids and your pets. Now, in saying that, I don't know if it's going to extend into the 30 days, into the 10 days. In saying that, I do not know if it is going to extend into the 10 days of darkness. Now, the 10 days of darkness is going to be the satellites in which all of the internet and a lot of the power and everything is going to be switched over. We're going onto a new power system worldwide. We're going onto Tesla energy. So they're going to be taking down a lot of the satellites and everything. So I think we're going to lose almost all of our social media, at least temporarily. A lot of it has been so infiltrated and so corrupted, we may never have it back. There's going to be new channels put up. There may be some form of communication. There may be, when this happens, there may be 1 or 2 platforms that we will be able to communicate with each other. I do believe there's a platform called Signal, and I do believe that we will have access to communicate with each other on that during the 10 days of darkness. Other than that, the power could go out. The power will, as far as I know, go out, I should say. I have heard that they are hoping that they could get this all done in 24 to 48 hours. But realistically, the original plan was it could be up to 10 days. So be prepared to be without your phone, without your internet, without power. So get yourself some books, get yourself some magazines, or some crosswords, whatever you like to do. Remember, I don't know if you'll be allowed to go out at this time because we could be under complete martial law. I will keep you updated the best I can as long as you sign up on countdown to EBS.com. It's countdown the number 2 EBS.com. Excuse me. I will also post videos directly on that website, but with the way everything's been hacked and censored and continuously taken down, I would actually sign up as well, so that at least if we get removed off that channel, or the channels that I'm on, we can still send you information from other channels, or at least do our best to do that. Like I say, everything's been getting censored now. This has been going on now for well over a year, and people's channels taken down and all kinds of horrific things, and that's why nobody's seeing the truth. Anyways, thank you for your time. Please sign up, and I will send you information on a daily basis, okay, and try and keep you up to date the best I can, and send you tips and tools on how to stay safe and how to rise above all the fear that has been created on the planet since the beginning of the rollout of the pandemic event. My name is Suzanne Price, and I thank you for your time. I will chat to you soon. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, it's Suzanne again. I just wanted to add something really quickly to the end of the video that I forgot to say. As I mentioned, I am nothing at all to do with the EBS system or the EBS alerts. The person who I believe, who I understand, who will be making the initial announcements is going to be Romana. I believe her last name is Didilo. She's in Canada. She has started the Canada First Party, and she is also on Telegram. So I would highly recommend that you look her up on Telegram and connect with her. She's been putting out a lot of stuff which is in alignment with everything that we've been hearing over the last year and a half that's coming through from the States and from around the world. But I just think it would be really important to do that. I will also put her picture or a couple of her videos on the website Countdown to EBS. I do think it would be a really good idea that everybody got to become familiar with her, so that when those alerts come through, when you see her, you know what is going to be happening, okay? Just so that it just helps a little bit, to know that we are expecting this. This is not something that's going to come out of the blue. It's really empowering to know that we are going to be expecting these EBS alerts. And just one little thing, don't be surprised if they sort of come at a time when we get some alarming news through the media or something like that. Timing might be close to that. So, if you do hear of something that's really scary on the news, or some world event or something like that, and then next thing is you get the alerts, don't be surprised. The fact that I'm telling you this right now should give you the heads up that this is all expected. It's all part of the plan. And as we've been told from President Trump right along, we have to trust the plan. And there's much more to the plan than what I believe was just about the election. I think we're talking about the Grand Master Plan, the Grand Master Cosmic Plan, actually, to be honest with you. Anyways, thanks again for your time. I will post a picture of Romana or a video so that she becomes a familiar face to you. Don't forget to sign up on Countdown to EBS. Thank you.